Natasha,
Debbie,
show.
the show.
Welcome to it. Just two patriotic girls.
Learning about the world.
So please, don't take us the wrong way.
Hi, welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
It's been 84 years since our last reaction on YouTube.
It definitely feels like 84 years.
Yeah,
or
it does.
184.
Might as well have been. This has been ridiculous. It's been 51 days since we've had a reaction video. And it wasn't because we had a vacation. I wouldn't be this pale.
Right?
No, inside emailing. If you don't know what happened to us, we've been fighting to be back here. We have 2 live videos you can go check out on the channel to find out all the fun we've been through.
But the important thing is we are back. And hopefully you're here watching us too.
And if you are, the only way we know is if you hit that like button. We appreciate that very much if you do.
And also consider subscribing. It's absolutely free.
Today is a special day, but I have to also confess I lied to our Facebook family. I'm sorry. I never do this to you guys. About 8 or 9 months ago, everyone kept bombarding us with a certain video. Do this video, do this video. And I'm like, well, we already saw it. We didn't.
No, we didn't.
Because I wanted to save it for now. And thank God we still have our channel.
I know. What a great weekend to do this on.
Yeah. So tomorrow here in America is
Memorial Day.
And if you don't know, we have quite a few holidays here in our country celebrating those that have worn the uniform. The 3 big ones would be Armed Forces Day, which was actually just last Saturday. Armed Forces Day celebrates those that still currently serve in the military. And then we have Memorial Day, which is tomorrow.
Right.
And that?
And Memorial Day is for the fallen, the ones that never made it home.
Which is closer to Remembrance Day. And then we have Veterans Day, which is on Remembrance Day, November 11th. We used to actually be called Remembrance Day, but we changed that at some point to Veterans Day, which of course honors veterans that have served.
Exactly.
So cover all the bases, which is something we're all very proud of. We're always proud of our military and our allied military.
We are. And if you are part of the military, active or veteran, thank you for your service.
Sincere thank you. And if you are or have been in the military, let us know in the comments. We would really like to know and be able to say thank you to as many servicemen and women that there possibly can be from ourselves personally.
Absolutely.
We won't be able, hopefully we can get to all. And hopefully there's enough people that'll let us know. But we would really like to know, to be able to thank you personally. So having said that, this video is Cambridge American Cemetery. We've heard about it. It's been requested a lot. And we saved it for this day specifically. I don't know anything about it, except it's in Cambridge.
That is about all we know.
That's it. Yeah. So we actually have 2 videos that we put together. Or there's one that everyone, I think a lot of people have reacted to it. And that's the second one. The first one is actually the Cambridge American Cemetery visitor film. And that's actually played, I guess, at the cemetery itself. And that'll be the first one we watch. There was some copyright issues with music. YouTube went and did their best to mute that out. So there might be some audio issues. Just bear with us on that. And then the second one is the friendly invasion, Cambridge American Cemetery and Memorial. So that's what we're going to check out right now. And again, if you like the military, you support the military, show YouTube, they matter. Hit that like button.
Absolutely.
Let's check this out, guys.
On the battlefields of World War II, from the North Atlantic to the skies of Europe, to the shores of Normandy and beyond, a generation came face to face with history.
Understatement.
Their courage, their competence and sacrifice, their friendships forged and reforged in combat.
Look at that. That always gets me when you can see the rows of all the crosses.
Yeah. And the Star David.
Yes. I mean, it's touching.
It is.
All would turn the tide of battle. Those who traveled far. Those who laid down their lives for freedom. Those who fought to change the future of Europe and the world. We honor all of them here at the Cambridge American Cemetery.
Wow. He's handsome.
Mm-hmm.
Very handsome.
December 1941. The United Kingdom has been fighting a desperate battle for 2 long years. German U-boats, often in the infamous wolf packs, are devastating key Atlantic supply lines.
The Nazis say their own U-boat sank the 22,000-ton vessel and credited the attack to 2 submarines under command of Lieutenants Reschke and Guggenberger.
Dang. I don't care how many times you see that.
Shipping losses are reaching dangerous levels, with the Nazis managing to sink Allied vessels on a daily basis. Over 1 million tons of ships, fuel, and equipment have gone down.
Holy crap.
That's a lot.
For the Allies, it's a make-or-break challenge. If they lose this vital lifeline,
It's over.
they could lose the entire war. Over the next 4 years, British, American, and other Allied forces will fight together to win the Battle of the Atlantic.
Not easily.
Their overarching goal? To keep the Allied war effort alive with a steady stream of these much-needed resources. During this epic struggle, more than 3,000 Allied vessels will be sunk.
Dang.
You know, you watch this and you see the explosions on the ships and stuff, and I just put myself like as someone on that ship and
I
just
know.
think of the fear that you would have.
I'm a coward. I
Yeah, I mean,
those are brave people.
yeah, absolutely.
After a collision in the icy waters of the North Atlantic, Chief Radio Officer Murray Blum dives into the wreckage-filled sea to rescue 2 men.
Jeez. That's a hero.
He dies looking
Of
for
course.
others to
Dang
save.
it. Bless him. Bless him. Thank you, sir.
The struggle reaches a critical point in the spring of 1943. After months of tragic losses,
seeing that tattered like
Allied
that.
forces start to drive out the U-boats and regain control of the seas,
Jeez.
safeguarding the vital convoys upon which the Allies depend.
This is random. I'm sorry. I saw a picture today, actually. I was just online of a man in 1941 and then in 1945 after the war.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my Lord. The aging, his face
Mm-hmm.
just was completely like he aged 25, 30 years in those 4 years. I mean, can you imagine what he saw, right?
Exactly.
What he experienced, what he went through. It
Mhm.
just sent shivers up my spine.
Even as battles at sea continue, the focus of the Allied war effort begins to shift.
Jeez. It's a lot.
6 o'clock upcoming in Cincinnati. He says he's in trouble out at 2 o'clock. Watch. Got engine on fire.
July 1942. American bombers join the battle for the skies, and an air offensive escalates over Europe.
Yeah, it did.
Relentless waves of heavy bombers pound German military and industrial targets.
Which thousands of bombers and fighters were attacking the Germans by day and by night. This sledgehammer blow smashed German resistance.
In time, the impact will be devastating to Germany's cities and its air force. But Allied crews suffer heavy losses too, flying dangerous missions over Nazi-occupied Europe.
Watch him, Scotty. I got my sights on him.
Watch him.
They're gonna be visiting Chuck 3 o'clock. Motor smoke. Fire at 10:30 coming around. 10:30 up or lower.
En route to bomb crucial factories in Schweinfurt, Germany, Staff Sergeant Winston Tooley is mortally wounded when his B-17 encounters devastating anti-aircraft fire. Refusing to leave his post, he released his bombs, closed the bomb doors, and slumped over, dead, surviving just long enough to complete his
Really?
mission.
Dang, dude. Wow. Jeez. Look at that thing. Winston to me.
Thank you, Winston.
Allied bombers fly around the clock. The British batter German cities by night. But all these efforts led to one day, one moment, when the Allies embarked on the liberation of France.
Soldiers and airmen, Allied expeditionary. We are about to embark upon the great crusade.
That day is June 6th, 1944, when the Normandy landings begin.
And armies of men are in motion fighting the greatest military amphibious undertaking in history.
Yeah.
In the following months, across the hedgerows and the rolling terrain of France, the tide of battle will turn.
This is hardcore.
As casualties continue to mount, thousands of wounded are evacuated to Great Britain
Wish they hadn't shut that
to
shut up.
recover from the tolls of battle. For each of the men and women who battled so bravely, this is their monument, a reminder of their heroism and their lives, and a legacy that is all around us. In the freedom we enjoy each day,
Yes,
it
absolutely.
stands here at the Cambridge American Cemetery to acknowledge those who fell, to honor their sacrifice,
Yes.
to remember who they were and what they did when the world hung in the balance.
Absolutely.
Wow. 3,812 soldiers, airmen, Marines, and civilians buried here. Wow. Witnessing honors the memory of 5,127 more whose remains were not recovered. Oh my gosh. Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the end of the first video. I have
Yeah, that's
hair standing up on my arms. I'm glad that the music ended up being copyrighted and it had to go away because I could not have handled that with the music in the background.
Chairs would have been flying.
Wow.
Mm.
And we got one more video to check out on this. But geez, that is that's heavy. Hearing the stories of some of those people.
I know, and it is nice to have a name and some of the story behind it.
Yeah, but what a beautiful thing
Mm-hmm.
that you guys did that and have this here. This is beautiful.
And an
that's
honor to be a part of the monument. You know?
absolutely, yeah, absolutely,
Be a
and
part of the cemetery.
absolutely, and it just that special relationship our countries have. Stop letting anyone tell you it's not there.
Mhm.
It is, and us people, not politicians, we keep that alive.
Absolutely.
We do that. That's our responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check out the second video. That's going to tell us a little bit more about it. It says exploring American heritage in East Anglia.
The
That's beautiful.
American Battle Monuments Commission exists to honor the service of American military personnel during the two wars.
Now I'm going to cry.
Traditionally, we maintain the venue. But now, as we look forward into the future, we see that we've got an added responsibility to tell the story of what happened to a new generation. And to make that relevant to them. Mm-hmm. When we first created these sites, the focus was simply maintaining a venue for the Gold Star mothers.
Wow.
You really didn't need to tell them the story. They'd lived through it. Mm-hmm. They'd had a very personal connection with it. So our focus was maintaining the cemetery for them to come and grieve. Now, 75 years later, those ladies are long gone. And most of the people alive today have no memory of the war.
Correct.
And have no interaction with anyone who does. So our role becomes to tell the story in a manner that's relevant to them today. And the way the agency's chosen to do that is to use the vehicle of the powerful biographies we have to make that human connection between a new audience of young people.
I love it.
And the stories of courage and sacrifice that this cemetery has so many of.
That is just absolutely beautiful.
And it was just kind of what I was
love
just
that.
saying before we started this video.
Yes.
I love this gentleman right here.
Uh-huh.
He's a hero too. He is, because he's right. Like I said, we have to keep this stuff alive.
Yeah, you got to preserve the history and keep these people and their names, their purpose alive.
Absolutely, and respect them.
Mhm.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you. What an awesome guy. What a beautiful cemetery.
As early as the spring of 1942, we had the Army Air Corps arriving in this area in great numbers, and we had operations rather early in 42 into Europe. We had casualties, and we obviously needed somewhere to bury our dead.
Jeez.
Cambridge University gave us the 30-acre parcel of land here in the centre of Cambridge.
Wow.
And on the 7th of December 1943, which was a date chosen 2 years to the day after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, we buried for the first time here, and then we buried throughout the war.
Hang on a minute. First, she has goosebumps all over her arms.
I do.
Cambridge University donated this land? 30-some acres, he said?
That's what he said.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I don't know what else to say except thank you. What a monstrously big, massive gift. Like I said, it's beautiful, and they donated it. That's a big deal. And then to wait 2-year anniversary of Pearl Harbor bombing to
start burying.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heart. That's heart right there. That's respect.
Meaning behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not just doing to do, but there's actually a meaning. There's a purpose.
And dang.
Thank you.
At the end of the war, this site was chosen as the permanent cemetery in the UK to house all those whose bodies were remaining from the conflict in the Second World War.
Wow. I want to go here.
To see what these men were thrown into at such a young age is humbling, and seeing how they responded to that. Some of the more powerful experiences for me have been hearing the stories of these young men
As we just heard a couple.
who were thrown into absolutely appalling situations.
Sorry, I just want to read them. To the glory of God and in memory of those who died for their country. Beautiful. Sorry.
Who were thrown into absolutely appalling situations and responded with courage that really was humbling to hear about. One of the more powerful experiences I've had here in the last few months was a visit of a 95-year-old veteran who came back with his daughter on perhaps a last visit to Madingley. And his daughter gave this to him as his 95th birthday present. And he came here and he explained that the last time he'd come to Madingley was to bring a crew to be buried.
Stop.
And he told me the powerful story of his connection to that crew. Now, this man had been a gunner, a teenage gunner, who'd been injured on a previous flight, so he was off air status. So he was not on flying duty. And while he was off flying duty, the Army Air Corps gave him driver assignments. And on one particular day, his job was to pick up a B-17 crew, take him to eat. They ate breakfast. They wanted to stop by the chapel on the way to the aircraft. And he said when they arrived at the aircraft, they all huddled. They put their arms around each other and they took a moment of silence together. And he said that was a powerful moment. And then they went off on their flight. I think it was a mission into a target into Germany. And they were damaged on the flight. They received some flak damage. And on landing, they crashed. And although they arrived back at the airfield, they crashed and they were all killed.
Oh, man.
And his last duty of that particular day was to pick the bodies up, bag them up, and drive them to Madingley American Cemetery. And that was the last time he was here.
What a touching story. Not only for the airmen that died, but for that soldier that returns at 95.
Yeah. And that was them. I mean, that was him. I'm hearing this, and I'm also thinking about German soldiers that died and perished. You know, how many people want to go to war?
No one.
I mean, I'm sure there's some people that do.
That's true.
But you know what I'm saying? How many people actually want to go to war, especially that war? I say there's a lot of people that did not. A lot of people thought it would be something it wasn't.
Exactly.
And we're forced to do things they didn't want to do. And I think about the German soldiers as much. I do. And please, if you're German and you're watching this and you're in the military or you've served, we want to thank you.
Yes, we do.
To some, that may sound strange, but you should know us by now. It's just, we hate war. We've said that before in a few videos. People think of us as like, oh, you guys are military. Some people get mad at us for doing these types of videos. Just because we love the military doesn't mean we're warmongers. We've said that before.
Heck no.
Not
war
at
is
all.
Ugly. No one likes war.
Exactly. I mean, hear what he just said. I mean, we don't want that to ever happen again. But we absolutely give the love, the respect, the honor, and the pride to those that fight for freedom's sake and keep us safe, because that is the ultimate sacrifice. I mean, literally.
Right. What else could you give but your life?
You can't. I mean, it's such a big, big, big cost. It is a big cost. And again, looking at this little chapel right here, this place is stunning. It is really well kept. You can tell. I want to make sure we go here.
Oh, definitely we are going here.
No doubt.
He came with his notebook with these 10 names that he jotted down 75 years ago and came back to visit those men.
Oh, man.
And 9 of them had been repatriated, but the 10th was still here.
Okay.
And it was a powerful moment to be standing with him over the grave of that one remaining soldier and have him tell me the story of his personal connection.
Wow.
And it's experiences like that for me that are the most powerful as superintendent here.
I can only imagine, sir. It is so beautiful.
In particular in the UK, our role is to reinforce and advance what Churchill referred to as a special relationship between the British and the Americans. And certainly nothing speaks more powerfully of that special relationship than does the 10,000 souls that are commemorated here in Mattingly.
Oh, wow. Seeing him at the end.
Yeah, taking the flag down.
Taking our flag down. Or putting it up. I couldn't really tell which. Probably taking it down.
He's taking it.
Wow. Too much in there. Wow. I personally want to thank you, United Kingdom, and the University of Cambridge for your tremendous donation, your gift, your honor of taking care of our boys.
Yes. The respect is there, and thank you.
Oh, we feel it. We may not have a personal connection to each of those soldiers or any of those soldiers, but I can assure you, as Americans, we have a connection and a love. And thank you. Damn, the special relationship really is beautiful. And we've done a video. It's been quite a while. I don't know how long ago that was now. I think fall, maybe.
Yeah.
Back in the fall, I believe, when the Revolutionary War, they had unearthed some remains, and we had a whole service for was a Scottish Highlander, I believe.
I think Scottish Highlander.
And it was a beautiful thing. And it goes back and forth. It goes both ways.
Absolutely, it does.
It never ceases to amaze me the love that I feel, not just for my country, but for the UK. And seeing this respect reciprocated back and forth whenever it happens.
Absolutely.
It's just beautiful. And I just personally thank you. Anybody connected to this project who continues to be connected to it. And again, every single soldier, male, female, that has served in the forces, be it now, be it in the past, be it American, be it allied. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
And thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, if you learned from this episode, if you love the military and you want to show YouTube to push that stuff up more, please hit that like button. It does more than you think, and it takes a second to do it. And consider subscribing to the channel. It is free to subscribe, and we'd love to have you on board with us. I I don't know what else to say.
I
I'm
don't
just
know what
like,
else to say either. It's beautiful. I think
Yeah.
you'd have a hard time getting me out of there because I'd be reading all those stories.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you would be too.
I would want to
And-
read every marker if that's possible, but it'd take a few
Absolutely.
days, but I think we could. And I would
Mhm.
like that. That's a bucket list item now for me.
Absolutely.
If you've been, let us know in the comments too. And if, I don't know. I don't know what to say, but we will be back Wednesday with another episode on German stuff.
Mhm.
And we hope that you'll join us then too. Thank you so much for your continued support for our little channel and for us as people. And please know, we have missed you. We love you. And we're happy we're back. We hope you are too. We'll see you Wednesday. Until then, please love like jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson.
Bye, guys.
Bye.